Okay, we're rolling.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. It's Dave with you. I hope you're doing well. Up here in Canada, it's cold. It's winter. But we're doing it. We're still here. Fireplace is on. Coffee's on. And I get a chance to talk to you. So that's great. We are continuing the conversation around podcasts and YouTube. Today we're going to talk about YouTube thumbnails and why they're important. Without being all clickbaity, where people are telling you one thing, but they don't really mean what they say, and you watch the video and it doesn't really do what they said it would do. Avoiding all those things like, the top 5 things, and you won't believe number 5. All these kind of things. Let's get away from that. Making a promise through our thumbnail, delivering on that promise in our podcast, and why thumbnails really matter. Like why we should be taking time to make good thumbnails. I'm using Canva to build my thumbnails for all my different shows. And what I like to do is I create a thumbnail template, which has all the components for every episode. And then I just make a copy of that thumbnail template and I just update it with the next episode's details. Episode title, episode number, artwork, image, guest image, whatever. And I just keep using the same thumbnail over and over and over again. Everything's in the same space. The logo is always in the same spot. The website's always the same. The fonts are always the same color, the same font every time. The image might be different, but the color, the background color is the same. Everything's exactly the same. So if you went from video to video to video, everything you see is uniform and organized and consistent. And I think that's one thing that we can do as podcasters is use our podcast thumbnails to be something that makes people know they're in the right place. You don't want to be all over the place with your thumbnails and every episode's completely different and there's no information about you or your show. Or people have no idea what this is about. Some best practices, again, they're not rules, but best practices for YouTube thumbnails here on the How to Podcast series. I hope these helps. If you ever have any questions, howtopodcast.ca, you and I can have a virtual Zoom coffee together and look at your YouTube thumbnails, and I can walk you through Canva, the free version or the paid version, and show you how to do this for your show. Always happy to help. Always happy to help you with your show. And love to be a part of your podcast journey in 2026. So let me know. YouTube thumbnails are like the front door to your podcast episodes, to your entirety of your show. Especially as video podcasts explode in popularity and podcasts through RSS, really simple syndication, showing up as audio podcasts on YouTube. Podcasters who nail thumbnails see a higher click-through rate and more loyal audiences that return because the visuals match the promised value. Click-through basically is that people click it and they click through to your episode and continue. We need to focus on being consistent as podcasters. We need to leverage curiosity without deceiving people and giving them a false promise about the episode. And our designs need to scale across different devices. So a few things I want to talk about. We want to talk about consistent branding, clickable elements, and how to avoid clickbait traps when doing your thumbnails for your podcast. Glad you're here. We need podcast thumbnails that have consistent branding. I kind of talked about that in the intro as we started off, but we need to build a form of recognition with a signature style that screams your show. Think of any popular chain restaurant, coffee shop, whatever, a store. They have the same logo on the front of the building, no matter where the building is. McDonald's, any of these stores, any of these restaurants, anything that you can think of. Krispy Kreme, here in Canada we have Tim Hortons. They all have the same consistent look and feel, no matter if you go where you go, and basically the same menu for the most part. So you have a consistent experience no matter where you are. The French fries at McDonald's in Idaho are the same French fries that you're going to get in downtown Toronto. French fries are French fries, and they do them all and they do them one way. It's consistent. And for us as thumbnails, we need to have a consistent look, feel, and experience for our audience so that they feel like they're comfortable and they're in the right place. That's very important as we think about thumbnail creation. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every episode, but try to do something that remains consistent, episode to episode, week to week, month to month, year to year. Your audience will love you for that. We use the same color palette in our thumbnails. That's super important as well. Bold primary colors for energy or muted tones for more thoughtful chats. Our fonts, make sure they're readable. These really hand-scripted, fancy fonts might not always translate depending on what people are using to view your podcast. And our logo placement needs to be somewhere all the time, consistently in each episode thumbnail. Something that's there, top corner, bottom corner, somewhere, for the audience to know they're in the right spot. For podcasters, include your face or a mic setup in every thumbnail or to humanize your brand. Now, I don't always do that, but for my own shows, I do a lot of artwork that goes along with the theme, an image that goes along with the theme of what I'm talking about. All my guests, I try to bring their image in. Some of my guests don't want their image on the thumbnail, so I have to be creative. So think about that. Anytime you can put a person, I think YouTube tends to favor faces of human beings in thumbnails over generic or cartoon, all those AI things that'll turn you into a Pixar character. It's a bunch of AI slop, and you're just like everybody else. So the one thing that if you use a person's image, their real image, that's a little bit more effective, I find, for my episodes and my show. But you do you, and that's kind of what my focus is. For podcasters, include your face wherever you can, or the face of your guests, and test 3 to 5 templates. One thing you can do in YouTube is you can do an A/B testing for your thumbnails and for your titles, and you can actually say, here's a group for this way, and here's a group this way, and now compare the two and see which one does better. YouTube's got a lot of great tools built in. Happy to show you and walk you through those if you ever have questions about that. But YouTube is really good at letting you play and see what works for you. It takes a little while to figure it out. Once you get it, though, don't recreate it. Just keep using it and keep moving forward and build something long-term that is consistent and your branding continues episode to episode. Again, you want people to know your show from all the other ones by how you show up. The next thing is have clickable elements as well. Thumbnails are designed to stop people from scrolling. And there are so many videos on YouTube and so many new videos in YouTube. We need to prioritize high contrast faces. A lot of people you're going to see on YouTube using exaggerated emotions like shock, joy, anger, and they do all these pictures of themselves, right? So that's one way to play it. I don't go that way. I just do normal stuff. But that does work for some people, and you might want to try that. Also, then people will add like 3 to 5 bold words like AI killed my job. And it's like, oh, I want to know what that's about. Your guest names can be done up in huge letters so that they stand out. Make sure everything's readable as far as a font. And you overlay any relevant images, episode screenshots or graphics, anything that relates to the episode and the content you're talking about. I like to use the background removal for my images of my guests so that they pop off the screen and whatever's behind them is removed. Then it gives me a consistent look from guest to guest to guest, because every image I get from guests varies, and I want to have one consistent look and feel. I know somebody that does black and white images of all their guests. No matter if it's color or not, they always do black and white. And I'm like, that's interesting. So it's something different, and it's unique to their show and how they do their podcast. and their thumbnails. So you pick whatever works for you. I like that idea. Make sure that your thumbnails speak on your behalf. They're there to represent you when you're not around. So people are going to stumble upon your show. People are going to stumble upon your channel. People are going to get told to come to your channel from other people. YouTube itself might recommend your channel to people. So when people show up, your podcast through your thumbnails needs to be inviting and accepting, and people need to know they're in the right spot. And your thumbnails are huge for that. So keep that in mind. Use layouts like a central focus, like a face with a hook text, or just how it shows up on the screen. Again, I would remind you to keep it as consistent as possible. If your guest image is always on the left and your words are always on the right, then do that. One thing I do for mine is I will do, when I do mini-series, like I have the 24 episodes in 24 hours coming up in February, I am doing a different thumbnail for that 24 episode series than all my other episodes. It's kind of like a special one-off, like a limited time, limited offer type thing. And it just makes my stuff stand out against all of the others, but it still has my logo, the colors, everything that I would normally do in my podcast thumbnails, but with just a little bit of extra spice. So don't be afraid to try little things here and there when you have something special to promote. Your thumbnails are a great way to do that. So keep that in mind. Make your podcast thumbnail clickable. Don't make it boring. Don't make people want to skip it. I see a lot of boring, stale, uncreative thumbnails, and I think there's a missed opportunity there. If you want to see a version of thumbnails outside of YouTube, go to our meetup group on meetup.com. You can find us through howtopodcast.ca. I host a meetup twice a week, and I create basically thumbnails for each meetup, where everyone else on meetup just has boring, the same image every single meetup. It's like, la, la, la. And they just keep recycling them. I make specific thumbnails for every single meetup. Every Tuesday, every Saturday, a new thumbnail. So go check out my thumbnails on Meetup if you want another example of how you can use colorful, engaging, curiosity-building thumbnails and images to make people go, I want to go check out what this is about. Make your YouTube thumbnails and your images clickable. It's going to help people to find you. And avoid all this clickbait traps that you're going to get on YouTube. They are so frustrating. Clickbait simply is, I put something out there, I tell you I'm going to tell you something, and then I never tell you. And it's like, this is so annoying. I was told this was going to be A, B, and C, and it was not about any of those things. It didn't even talk about it. Clickbait erodes trust. Thumbnails promising shocking twist must deliver that in the first 30 seconds, or viewers are going to bounce, and YouTube will penalize you in your retention for promising one thing and not delivering. Match your visuals to your content. A surprise face for real surprises, not just filler talk. Titles should intrigue honesty. Why dads feel alone and how to fix it. Pairs with a thoughtful host expression, not fake drama. This is something that we can all do, is make sure that the theme and the feel of what you're doing on your show represents in the image on your thumbnail. It shouldn't be a difference. Clickbait is more than just words, more than just content. It's also your promise in your thumbnail needs to match with the content. Podcasters benefit the most by treating their thumbnails as episode teasers. They build in a visual feed that feels premium and bingeable, turning casual clicks into subscribers. One of the key things to think about as we head towards the door here around thumbnails for YouTube's and for podcasters is great thumbnails blend your brand's consistency with emotional hooks that truthfully preview the value. They help to foster your audience love of your content through relatability and no tricks. We are here to build an audience, a community, not to trick somebody into pressing play on our episode and leaving them disappointed. Your podcast thumbnails need to be consistent in branding, clickable, and not filled with clickbait. That's what we need to make our thumbnails better. Our next episode, episode 554, we're going to talk about using end cards and other clickable things inside of the episode that will get your audience to stick with you longer than just watching one video or listening to one podcast episode and bouncing. We want people to stick around. So there's some tools that you're not using maybe that you should be. We're going to talk about that in episode 554. So come back. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening to the entirety of the episode, including this part. You know what? A lot of people leave right now. So we'll let them leave. Give them a second to go. Okay, now it's just you and me. We have our meetups that we do for the How to Podcast series. We do them during the week, and we also do them on Saturdays. So twice a week, you have the opportunity to meet other podcasters, just like you. Some people have just started. Some people haven't even released an episode yet. Some have been doing it forever. And we get together and talk podcasting. We want to help you in community to continue with your show, to start your show, to grow your show. So come and meet listeners of this show in one space on meetup.com. Again, through howtopodcast.ca, you'll see the links. It's completely free to join. Come whenever you have an opportunity to come. There's no commitment. You don't have to sign any waivers. You can just come join us. Come join the conversation. We'd love to have you there because the only thing that's going to make these meetups better is you being there. So I'm hoping you will say yes. And you'll say, Dave, I'm tired of podcasting by myself. I wish there were people I could connect with that are fellow podcasters and share my frustrations with guests who ghost me and my editing software is crapping out on me and I'm just having this hard time. I'm just having a hard time coming up with podcasts, episodes and titles and all the things and social media. Wouldn't it be great to get in a room with other podcasters and share best practices and learn? 3 of our 4 Saturdays every month are themed. So you have a topic, but that last Saturday of every month is open question and answer. Ask anything. Come meet a podcaster. Come enjoy the podcasting community through howtopodcast.ca. Come to our meetups. Can't wait to see you there. Okay, you're still here. Awesome. Great. At the end of the episode, we like to throw in a little bonus for the people who stick around long enough to listen to the entire episode. So you're still here. So thank you. I appreciate that. That means so much, not only to me, but also to the apps, the players, wherever you're listening or watching this. This makes this episode show up better in relation to all the others. And I'm thrilled that you're here. Now, when we talk about how to look at our stats and our information in YouTube, YouTube has got probably some of the best information for you in your podcast. And you need to know what's going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of great content in your analytics tab in your YouTube studio. You're going to find at the top of the screen, and we can do this together as well, you and I, through Zoom. There's your overview tab, your content tab, your audience tab, and trends. I'm also seeing a bunch of AI now showing up on my YouTube channel dashboard and analytics, where you can now have engagement with your YouTube AI, and you can ask it questions, and you can find out what's going on your YouTube channel. So definitely check it out. So when you click through overview, you're going to see a bunch of stuff about your top content in this period. It's going to give you a list. It's going to show you numbers and what's working, what's resonating with your audience. It's showing you recent uploads. It's showing you a ton of interesting things. And it's giving you average view duration, which is great. How long people are listening to your episode. How long people are engaging with you. How many views you're getting. On the right, you're going to see things about real-time, up-to-date information, how many subscribers. You can see your live counts. You can see what's being shown right now. There's so much information on here. It's so good. And then on your content tab, you can then jump in and see what's happening content-wise. You can see your views, your impressions, your click-through rate, your average view duration. All that stuff's important. You can click on videos and shorts and podcasts and playlists. You can look at your audience and you can see new viewers versus casual viewers versus regular viewers. You get a lot, how many people are subscribed and how many people are not subscribed. For this show, while I'm looking at this right now, 66% of you are not subscribed to this channel that are here with me, and 33% are. So can we flip that, please? Can you please subscribe to this channel? I don't do this often. That's probably why it's at 66%. So if you're on YouTube here and you're watching and listening, please hit that subscribe button. Let's change that 66% not subscribed. I'd like to change that. That would be very helpful. So you can see your audience, you can see your trends and see what's going on. And I just love seeing all of the different things that YouTube shows us. So if you ever have questions and you're like, Dave, I don't understand what I'm looking at, let's do a screen share. Let's walk through your channel together and help you understand how powerful your YouTube studio is and how you can make it better. Always willing to help. Always love helping podcasters. And I want to help as many podcasters this year as possible. Reach out anytime, howtopodcast.ca. Thanks for being here. See you next episode.